Hello everyone and welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop. This is Colin and today I have a treat for you. We're going to do Chapter 2 of Machina Arcana. Now, Chapter 1 has already been done by Bairnt. Actually, he posted it on our channel as well. And so he gave me his copy of the game. I'm going to do Chapter 2, then he's planning on doing Chapter 3. And that's irrespective of if we win. I highly doubt we're going to win like Bairnt did. Finally, since Bairnt already did a setup video, I'm not going to do a full setup here. I'm just going to start us with the chapter. I'm going to show you our characters and we're going to jump in. Scenario number 2 is called Statue of Despair. Here we have some amazing looking art. Looks like this might be our camp or something, and we're ready to go delve into this area. I don't know if I really want to do that. Chapter 1. No Rest for the Brave. Fatigued from our fight with the cultists, we stumbled through the corridors and antechambers, weary beyond rational thought. After one of us nearly plunged into a crevice and certain death, we agreed there could be no further travel without a respite. Despite the ill ease that permeated into our very bones, we set about making a meager camp with our remaining supplies. We tried to sleep, to rest, but the oppressive walls and our own thoughts kept much comfort at bay. We had seen too much horror for slumber, too much evil for even the balm of forgetfulness. And so, as we sat and tried in vain for any sense of equilibrium, they attacked. Spawn from some abyssal plane assailed us without pause, their numbers unending. Too weak and outmanned to fight, we had no option but to flee, seemingly useless prayers on our lips. We have a bunch of Enter's Play abilities here. Our first one is placing the entry token. Check, already done it. Now we can move up to 3 spaces each, which is great. Our monster level is at 2. So in Bairnt's playthrough, you only saw it start at level 1. We're going to start already at level 2. We also have all items. Items 2 and 3 are shuffled into our item deck. So we are starting off with the full gambit of items. Now I am playing only with the base game items. I'm not playing with the expansion items. Same goes with the enemies. So you can see here, I have set my spawn marker at 7 and my horror marker at 5. Our threat marker will still start all the way here at the end, and of course, just like normal, when you move off of the board, you reset to here, and our monster level will go to 3. I randomly chose this tile to start off with. We can move 3, just so you remember some of these items here. We've got a recharge station here, we've got a chest over here, and 2 event spaces over here. Of course, we have enemy spawns here. We have a barrel here that we can use to attack all adjacent enemies. There's no traps on this board, actually. Here's our chapter space. So since our card doesn't specifically denote how we move to the next chapter, what we have to do is get adjacent to that chapter space, spend 3 essence and 3 stamina, so 3 out of our 6 actions for the turn, to move to the next chapter and cover that space up. Don't forget that all of these items are considered obstacles, so what that means is we cannot move through them, but you can move diagonally in this game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Philip move 1, 2, and 3. 3 spaces right here. That way he can potentially activate both of these spaces on his turn. For Kim's going to move 1, 2, so she can do the same thing. She can activate both of these spaces on her turn. Oh, and that's a workbench, you guys. I love workbenches. Philip over here is a crafter. That means that he can equip 1 main item every time he does the gain item effect. Now, it's only a main item, and you'll see how that works in the playthrough. He has the ability. He can do an arcane attack, which is attacking, and the willpower is your defense. He'll roll 1 white die. That's pretty terrible. But then you can reduce armor and will by 1 this round on that enemy, a maximum of 1 time. You also can increase your weapons attack rolls by 1 for each upgrade or augment. Pretty cool. We have our 3 tokens here so that any of these items that happen, we'll have to notate it with those. He starts off with 0 essence, 6 stamina, 5 health. We have over here for Kim. Kim can attack at, it takes 2 stamina to attack at a range of 3. I should say this one took 2 stamina with no range, so he had to be right next to them. She will be able to equip a main item that is an apparel item. She will also attack only with 1 white die, but then she can reduce the range of that enemy by 1, maximum of 1 time that round. And when she's adjacent to a wall, you can increase your attack rolls by 1. Kind of cool. She also has 5 health, no essence, and 6 stamina. With this, I think we're ready to just jump in. We'll start with the Explorer phase. I do want to notate that this is an entry token, and you can see here, this is how I knew where to place it. There's this little symbol here. That means that's the entry space of our tile. So I've placed that here. That's how I knew where we started. So let's go ahead and start with Philip. I think the first thing he's going to do is activate that chest. That's going to take 3 stamina. Remember, each turn you'll have a total of 6 stamina that you can use. So we're going to use 3 out of the 6 of them, and we're going to open that chest. Once we do that, we will then place this right here to denote that we have used the chest. There are a total of 4 different item types: weapons, apparels, consumables, and artifacts. We're going to choose 2, and then we can pick one, and then the other one we can either destroy, so it's gone, or we can put it back on top of the deck. So I think I'm going to pick an apparel, and I'm going to pick a weapon. The weapon we have here is a penetrative crossbow. Oh man. So it takes 3 stamina to activate, but we can attack at a range of 4. However, that range is blocked by obstacles, and that even includes other characters. You can't in this game attack with these through characters. This one, though, we get to attack with 3 white dice, and then attack with 1 black and 1 white, and then you can target an adjacent unit, which is pretty cool, actually. Or we have the arrow mantle here. You can move through units. Oh my gosh. And look at that willpower boost. So this gives your defense for willpower attacks a boost of 3. His willpower defense right now is 2. Oh man. Oh man. Oh, and this is a 2-handed weapon. So that means that it takes both your hands to hold it. Well, I really honestly want both, but with this being a level 1, I think I might, oh gosh, this is hard, but I think I might destroy this, and I'm going to have him keep the arrow mantle. Now, normally, you'd have to just put this to the side, and he'd have to take an equip action to equip it. But because he can equip a main item, he's going to go ahead and equip the arrow mantle right away. That means his willpower defense now is 5 instead of 2. To do that action, it cost him 3 stamina, but it also gained him 1 essence. And remember, we need 3 essence to be able to do that chapter space and move to the next chapter. So I want more essence. Next, I was going to have Philip do the recharge station, but I'm actually thinking of holding. The recharge station doesn't gain you essence. I thought it did, but it actually doesn't. So what I'm going to do is use my stamina number 4. So you can always use stamina to move 1 space. 1 stamina equals 1 space movement, and you can always move diagonally. I'm going to move here. I have 2 stamina left. I don't think there's anything else I can do with that stamina. I'm going to stay here. Next time I can open that chest and hopefully run unless an enemy spawns here. Next to go will be Kim, and here's the thing about Kim. I believe, if I'm looking here, I think there's a wall there based on what I'm seeing here. So I don't think we can do this event space. We'd have to be adjacent to it. This wall is blocking that, but I can do the workshop. So I'm going to go ahead and spend 3 out of her 6 stamina and activate the workbench. When you activate a workbench, you can draw the top 3 cards of any item decks. Then you can choose to swap any of those drawn cards with any items in your inventory or that you even have equipped. Then you can choose one, then keep it or give it to an adjacent explorer, then destroy any number of remaining cards and place the remaining ones on top of their decks, and then you can immediately equip them. Normally you can't do that, but you immediately can equip them. And then you'll put the destroy token on the workbench. You don't gain an essence for that. So I think because she can normally put on apparel, no problem, because of her ability as a gunman, I'm going to do 2 weapons and an artifact. So let's see. The first weapon will have the Horrid Reaper. Oh my gosh. The next one is a Pressured Cogs. And then down here, we have the Vicinity Galvanizer. So the Horrid Reaper takes 2 hands. You can spend 3 stamina at a range of 2, attack 2, black 2, white, pull 1 space. Or you can spend 3 and just attack 3 and it's attacking all adjacent units. Or you can do spend 3 stamina and an essence to attack 1/1 adjacent units and push adjacent units to spaces. Yeah, it's going to be hard not to grab this one. So I think for sure she's going to keep this one and immediately equip it. Now this Pressured Cogs increase weapons attack roll by 3. That's awesome, but no one has a weapon that they can attach that to. You see here, it's considered an augment. You have to augment one of your weapons, and you can see here this item, I can't do that. So I'm trying to decide, if I destroy it though, no one can ever use it. I can also put it on top, and then someone can put it in their inventory for later. Yeah, I think I might do that, because this one is so good. Increasing your attack roll by 3 is amazing. This one, when you restore health, restore 1 health to an adjacent explorer, increase adjacent explorer's armor and will by 1. Oh, that's also kind of good. Restoring health is super helpful. There's not a lot of ways to do that, but you know what? I'm going to get rid of it. I think there's better ones. I guess we'll see. Kim has 3 more stamina to use. She's going to use 1 to move here. Now she can interact with this event space because she is diagonally adjacent to it, but can't do it this time because that takes 3 stamina and she only has 2 left. Instead, she's going to close this door. That costs 2 stamina to do that. We'll drop a closed door item right here. Now, enemies can try and attack that. Well, they won't attack it. They'll just spend 4 stamina to break it down. We can also spend 2 stamina to get rid of it, basically to open it again. But this way, she's protecting herself a little bit because likely they would want to come this way towards her, and so that will protect her. We've now completed the Explorer phase. Let's move to the Spawn phase. Our spawn level is currently at 7. What I'm going to do is roll this die up once for each of our explorers. If I roll a 7 or higher, we're going to spawn a monster. If I roll a 6 or lower, we'll then reduce that spawn rating by 1, and then we'll roll for the other character or other explorer. So let's start. We'll do our first roll. We have, that is a 6. Beautiful. So that means, and I should have said who this was for. I'm going to say that was for Philip. Normally I need to say that beforehand, but I will do that going forward. Philip rolled a 6. The spawn level is at 7. So now I'm going to reduce the spawn level by 1, and now it's down to a 6. So now if I roll a 6 or higher, then Kim's going to spawn something. And yes, I did. That's a 9. And it's going to spawn at a spawn point closest to her. Now, since I'm already here, the next thing I'm also going to do is the horror phase, just because I also have to roll a die. This one, I have to roll a 5 or actually a 4 or lower to not activate. And I rolled a 2. So no, we're not going to have to worry about a horror event this turn. I will, though, have to decrease the horror threshold from 5 down to 4. Just so you understand, when Philip rolled and he rolled less than the 7, I put it down to a 6, but then Kim rolled a 9, so that pushed it back up. And then, since we did not have a horror event, we'll go from 5 down to 4. We'll then reveal our topmost monster, and remember, these are level 1s and 2s, and of course I get a level 2 right off the bat. We have the Tinderlost Hound. The Tinderlost Hound has a total of 2 health, so what we do is we place 2 health chips onto his card. When those 2 health chips are gone, then he's defeated. He has an attack that uses 2 stamina, and you can see here he has a total of 5 for each turn at a range of 0, so he has to be within melee range to attack you, and it's an arcane attack of 3 black dice. Holy moly. When any explorer loses essence, this monster teleports to that explorer, and it's ethereal. Great. When it's ethereal, that means we cannot attack him directly. We can attack him by pushing him into a barrel or attacking a barrel or maybe activating a trap. Well, none of that is here. There's a barrel, but essentially he's not going to be defeatable until I can figure out how to attack him not directly. Up here too, you can see his resistance. He has physical resistance of 4 and willpower resistance of 4. We'll place that Tinderlost Hound right here, and now he's going to activate because we're going to go into the monster activation phase. He is 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces away from Kim that way, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces this way, so he's going to try and move this way. He has a total of 5 stamina, so he'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, but now there's a door in the way, and he's pissed. It costs him a total of 4 stamina to break down that blasted door. He only has 1 stamina left because he moved 4 spaces. So that's all he's going to do this turn. So that door actually saved us. I'm really glad I put that out. That's going to end our round 1. Let's go to round 2. And remember, when we go back to our explorer phase, we can choose which explorer goes first. And I personally feel like with what I have here, I'm going to have Philip go first. And the first thing he's going to do is spend 3 stamina. He's going to go ahead and look into this chest. We're going to go ahead and reveal 2 weapons. We know what the top one is. That's the one that increases attack rolls by 3. Our next one, a weapon can target through obstacles. Oh, that's a precision scope. That's kind of cool. I'm thinking of actually just taking this pressurized cog, and I'm just going to put that into my inventory. I can't equip it because I don't have a weapon, and I'm going to destroy this one. I mean, it's actually not bad. It's pretty good, but I need an actual weapon. Remember, doing that cost me 3 stamina, but I do gain another essence. I have 3 stamina left. Why the heck not? Let's go 1, 2, 3. We're going to start running ourselves towards this chest. We're trying to find a weapon. We need to be helpful. 1 white die. The max you can roll on a white die is 2 pips, so there's no way we can even touch him. Plus, he's ethereal, so we can't even hurt him anyways. We need something else. Kim will go ahead and go next. She is going to activate this event space. That's going to give her 1 essence, so that's her first one. And now we're going to draw an Explorer event. Our Explorer event deck has both general event cards and event cards specific to this chapter. Let's see. Okay, this is a general one. We have Glimpse from the Past. Suddenly, with the force of a boulder, it was as if my mind recognized I'd been here before. Visions of those gloomy corridors and dark corners began to form in my brain, and I glided through the spaces easily, as if guided by an invisible map. The memory was so vivid, my thoughts touched history like the fingertips of an ethereal hand. We can refresh any map space. That is absolutely amazing. And this is when enters play, so it immediately happens right now. Then we're going to put this card into the discard pile. Now there's going to be some cards that will have an effect here that might say spend 3 stamina to do an arcane attack. As long as that's the top card in the discard pile, any of our explorers can activate that. And that's the same as the horror cards. There might be horror cards that will affect the monsters that are out on the board. Really cool how that works. But it's only as long as it's the top card on the discard pile. This one, though, is a one-time effect and it's done. We're going to refresh any map space. I think that makes, it's obvious. We're next to a workbench. Let's go ahead and refresh it, and then we can use it again. Let's go ahead and remove this, and we've refreshed the workbench, and then we're going to use it again, and that's our total 6 stamina. Consumable items, when you gain them, they're considered to be immediately equipped, so it's silly to get a consumable item at a workbench. I can draw 3 cards. I'm thinking of doing one of each. Or I already have a pretty good weapon. Well, but maybe something in there will help us attack ethereal units, so I'm going to do one of each. So I've got an apparel here. I've got jet boots. Over here, I have the percolating stone. This is a one-time use. You discard it, restore 3 health. And on a new round, if you roll a 5 or higher, you can just restore 1 health. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. And then this one over here, we have increased our weapons attack rolls by 1. I cannot affect the Horrid Reaper that I have with that, though. And, I'm going to definitely discard this one. I'm thinking these jet boots, spend 2, choose a direction, and move until you reach an obstacle. Whoa! That's really kind of cool. So I can immediately equip that. Or this is just restoring 3 health. This would help our willpower defense, but also help our health. Oh, this is hard. You know what? I'm going to put this one back on top because I can equip that at any time. I'm going to go ahead and grab this one and immediately equip it. So our willpower defense is now going to be 4. And then in a new round, if I ever have damage, what I can do is just roll a die. If I roll a 5 or higher, I can restore 1 health. And then 1 time per game, because that symbol means I have to discard it, I can discard this to restore 3 health. I like it. That'll end the Explorer phase. Let's move to the Spawn phase. We'll start with Philip. I need to roll less than a 7, and I rolled a 1. Beautiful. So that's going to go down to a 6. Now I'm going to roll this one up for Kim, and Kim gets an 8. Kim is always going to spawn the monster. Then I'll reset the spawn point to 7, and let's roll for the horror event. Since we're here, we've got a 7. So we're also going to have a horror event. That means with our spawn tracker here, we would have moved down to a 6, then back to a 7, and then our horror event will go back up to a 5, and we're going to move 1 up on the threat track because we're now having a horror event. Let's go ahead, though, and spawn 1 monster as close to Kim as possible. We'll draw the top card of the monster deck, and I will say I'm still already doing better than Bairnt. Bairnt was spawning 2 every round. I'm only spawning 1. We have a Yadithian. This one has 2 armor and 4 willpower defense. Wow, we got to hit him with a regular attack. Only 1 health, though. 5 stamina. It will use 2 stamina, and it can attack at a range of 3, and obstacles do not block this attack because of that. You see how it looks a little bit different than, for an example, this range icon. It doesn't have those little bumps around it. That means that this is not blocked by obstacles. So it will still be blocked by walls, but not by obstacles. It will be blocked by doors and walls, though, from what I understand. So this attack, obstacles will block the attack. This one, it will not. So that's brutal. When this monster dies, the attacker gains an item. Cool. When this monster is the only monster, it's ethereal. So we have to kill this one before we kill the other hound, but that shouldn't be hard. We can't even touch the hound right now. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place that next to the hound, and that means it'll activate after the hound activates. We'll place the Yadithian right here. We'll now draw our horror event card, and we have the reciprocal carnage. The horrific abominations hunt their prey with reckless abandon. Their only goal is to inflict as much pain and misery on their targets as possible, with little regard for their own self-preservation. Nothing solidifies this primitive mindset more than sending its razor-sharp barbs through its own flesh, just so that it can tear into an out-of-reach victim and relish in their misery. Oh, so it will do a 2 stamina attack at range 0. Target explorer and this monster each lose 1 health. Oh, so this is a card that will be placed in the horror discard pile, and it's active until we draw the next horror card and it gets placed in the discard pile. And whenever an enemy gets adjacent to an explorer, it's going to look to do this first before it does any of the other items on its specific card. Now comes the fun part, the enemy activation. So this hound is simply going to spend 4 stamina to break down this door, and apparently fall over in the process. He only has 1 stamina left, and so any of his attacks, his regular attack costs 2 stamina, and of course the one that's on the horror event card also costs 2 stamina, so that's all he's going to do. He's going to stare menacingly at Kim, and that's it. However, this Yadithian, if we look here, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, he's going to be within range of Philip. He'd have to move because of these walls. Well, actually, you know what? He could just move here because he would be, yeah, you know what? The Yadithian is going to target Kim. He's just going to move here. 1, 2, 3. Does he even have to? 1, 2, 3, corner to corner. Yeah, no, he doesn't even have to move. He's going to stand right here. 1, 2, 3, range 3 of Kim. He's just going to attack Kim with 3 white dice. That's his arcane attack. The Yadithian is attacking with 3 white dice. We can see here Kim has 2 willpower as her defense here, plus the 2 here, so that's a total of 4. If he rolls 4 or higher, he's going to hit her. So he'll do his first attack. Oh my gosh, 2, 4 plus 1 is 5. That'll definitely do a point of damage. I'm going to have Kim take that as damage to her health. You can always take damage as essence instead, but she'll go from a 5 down to a 4. Now, that only used 2 of his essence, or 2 of his stamina, I'm sorry. So he still has 3 left. He's going to spend 2 more to attack a second time, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Bummer, it's going to hit her again. Even though she's got 4 willpower, still not enough. She's going to go from 4 health down to 3 health. I almost forgot to place a broken door token here because we can't reclose that door over and over again. That wouldn't exactly be fair, right? So that'll end the monster phase. Let's go ahead and move back to the explorer phase. I'm going to have Philip go first. He's going to move 1 space here, and then he's going to spend 3 stamina, so he'll have 2 left, to open up that chest. He's really hoping for something that he can use to attack. We're going to just do weapons this time. We're going to do 2 of them. So our first one is the reverberating glaive. That one can spend 2 stamina, have to be adjacent, attack with 3 white, or attack with 2 stamina, 2 range. And then this means we actually have to put it back into our inventory and spend an equip action to put it back out. We attack with 3 dice. If you hit, attack with 1 black and 1 white. Targets adjacent monsters and return this item equipped. Wow, that's kind of cool. His other one is increase weapons arcane attack rolls by 1, an arcane coating. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of that one. I'm going to burn that one. I'm going to go ahead and immediately equip this. This is a main weapon, and it uses 1 hand. Also, since we opened a chest, we're going to move ourselves to 3 total essence. That means we can technically do the chapter space, except for we do not have enough essence to do so, because I spent 4, no, I shouldn't say essence, stamina. I spent 4 stamina to be able to move 1 and open that chest. Philip has 2 more stamina, but he's standing right next to that chapter space, so I think I'm going to leave him right where he is. That way, at the beginning of his next turn, he can activate this and we can move to chapter 2. Instead, we're going to move to Kim's turn. Kim's going to spend 3 stamina, 1, 2, 3, to come over here. She's now within range 2 of this Yadithian. Let's go ahead and attack him. We used 3 stamina to move. Let's use 3 to attack. We can do that at a range of 2. There's nothing blocking our line of sight. We're going to roll 2 black and 2 white. We can pull him after, but hopefully that won't happen. If you look at him, he only has 2 for his armor for physical attacks. I think we should be able to take him out. 2 white, 2 black. Oh yeah, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He is so dead. He's only ethereal if there was no other monsters out, so that's why I could take him out. Whenever you defeat a monster, you get to gain 1 essence. That'll allow her to move to 2 total essence. She wasn't an adjacent to a wall, so she could not increase her attack roll, but overall, I'm still happy with that. Now, what I am going to say, since the Yadithian is a level 1 and we are at a level 2 for our monster level, I'm going to remove him for the rest of the game. We're not going to see him again. Level 2s we could still see because whenever you increase the monster level, you'll take all the ones from the discard pile and shuffle them back into the deck. But for him, since he's a level 1, he's gone. We both have completed our turns. We will now move to the spawn phase. Our spawn level is at 7, and then the horror phase, our horror level is at 5. Let's roll our dice for spawning. First is for Philip. Philip gets us 6, so that means we have no spawning for him. We'll move the spawn point from 7 down to 6. We'll roll for Kim. Kim rolls a 1. That means no new monsters are going to spawn. Our spawn will go down to a 5. Now for our horror event, we've got a 5. Bummer. And that means we're going to have a horror event. That means this effect will no longer be in place after we reveal this one. We have Creeping Death. They've invaded our territory. Trespassers, thieves, defilers. They don't belong. Those foul parasites, those humans. They've killed several of our kind. Well, just one so far. But they don't know that we're getting closer. They can't see us in the dark. They can't hear us lurking in the shadows. And before they know it, we'll be upon them. So next 2 times when a monster dies, we're going to have a monster, or all monsters will move up to 2 spaces. But that's going to be into effect now instead of the one below it. Also, since we had that horror event, we're going to move up the threat tracker by 1. And we're going to put this spawn tracker down by 2. Now this hound is going to activate. He is a total of 1, 2, 3 spaces away from Kim and 1, 2, 3 spaces away from Philip. They're always going to go towards the explorer with less health. Unfortunately, that's Kim. 1, 2, 3. He's going to come here, and with his remaining 2 stamina, he's going to attack her with an arcane attack of 3 black dice. Kim's defense is 4, so likely she's going to get hammered. Oh, she was so close. 2 plus 2 is just 4, but if it's equal to or greater than your armor, you take damage. That's right. That only puts her down to 2 blasted health. And you know what? I forgot to do this last round. So I'm going to go ahead and do this actually, because now we're going to start the new round. I'm going to do this twice because I missed it last round. This could be really helpful. I'm going to roll a D10. If I get a 5, I can restore health. Come on, Kim. Come on, Kim. We've got an 8 for our first one, so we'll restore 1 health there. And a 7 for the other one. She just restored 2 health. She is now at 4 health. Now that we started the next round, let's start with Philip. Philip is going to spend his first 3 stamina and 3 essence to cover up that unlit chapter space, and that's going to allow us to move to chapter 2. This will use up all of his essence, though. After completing chapter 1, we'll flip this card. Oh boy, and this kind of feels like what we're fighting right now. We've got an ethereal enemy we can't even attack, and, well, we only have 1 now, but I have a feeling 2 are going to come out next round. Chapter 2. Where are we? We made a wrong turn. This is the only explanation. In our haste to flee, we have stumbled into an unexplored area of this endlessly intricate complex. But our misfortune has also come with a strange, if disturbing, turn of luck. The creatures that assailed us have stopped at the transom, hissing and burbling, but not crossing the threshold, as if some eldritch force keeps them at bay. This is a cause of concern, for what power have we stumbled into would cause such fiendish abominations? Our known path of return barred, we had no choice but to explore onward and hope to chance upon some remembered junction or discover a previously unknown means of egress. Therefore, on we went, slogging through the chambers, chilled to our marrow with the dread surrounding us. So long had it been since we had seen natural light or experienced hope. Despair became as much an enemy as the creatures thirsting for our souls. Okay, our spawn number this time is 6. So actually I get to move this to a 6. And then over here we can see the horror is 4. This one we also are going to have to activate a chapter space to move. And you can see here, this says monsters can't move to other map tiles. That means I can leave that blasted ethereal hound behind if I can get to a new map tile. I still have 3 stamina remaining, and I have an idea. If you look here, the 2 spawning points are way down here. What if I run up this way? So I've got 3 more stamina. 1, 2, let's see, I was here, right? 1, 2, 3. So I get over to here, and the next time I try and escape that way. That means that at the end of this turn, I'm going to have enemies spawn over here if they do, and they're going to have to spend all their actions or stamina getting closer to us, and then we can leave them behind. So I think for Kim's turn, she's just going to run. We can't hit this guy. He's ethereal anyways. So she's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So she's way over here, and so is Phil. I think that's the best option. I could have tried to explore over here. That would have been another thought, because she could have explored here. Let's see. She could have gone 1, 2, takes 2 to explore, 3, 4. Then she could have moved down here and been safe. Oh, but then we're so far apart. No, I'm going to take the chance. I'm going to have her move there. We'll spawn some more enemies, and then we will run. We'll move to spawning. I have to roll a lower than a 6. I've got a 7, so Philip's going to spawn someone. And then for Kim, same thing for a 6, and we've got a 4. Okay, so we'll reduce the spawn number by 1, so it'll be down to a 5. And then for our horror event, that was a 4 or less, I think. Let's roll this up. We rolled an 8, so we're definitely going to have a horror event. So the horror events are just going to keep coming. And then we're going to move this down by 1 because we're only going to spawn 1 time. We're not going to move the horror event yet because it's a 4, so we're good to go there. Let's see what monster we're going to leave behind on this tile. We have a thrall. Okay, it's going to have to be adjacent to you, and it's going to invoke a horror event. This monster can move through units. Oof. 3 physical, 4 regular, 2 health. So we got to drop 2 health on him. And he's going to spawn as close as possible to Philip this time. Let's flip our horror card, and we have Adaptive Strike. Ooh, this is a specific one from our scenario. And we have, as we learn, that secrets and maneuvers of these halls and the monsters within, it seems that whatever baleful gaze is on us does the same. All the obstacles and barriers we build are penetrated with laughable ease. Attacks rain on us with surgical precision as it relentlessly strives to sever our fragile links to existence. Once per their attack rolls, monsters re-roll their empty dice. So this now will go into the discard pile. We've spawned our thrall over here. Now each of them have 5 total stamina. So the hound will move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the thrall will move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Okay, now it's back to our turn. The question now becomes, how greedy do we want to be? I'm going to have Philip go first. What he could do is search this chest. That costs 3. Then he can move here for 4, and then for 2, he could reveal this tile. Great. But then he's stuck on this tile. So I think instead, let's start with Kim. Kim's going to move 1, 2, and then she is going to explore, costing her 2 stamina, but we get to reveal another tile. Whoa, this tile looks like a lot of fun. We have some pits here that hopefully we can throw some monsters into. There is rubble here as well. So the only way we can get to this chapter space is by moving from here to here. We can actually move onto a spawn point as well. So we could move here to here as well. Look at this. Lots of barrels that we can attack and destroy and hurt enemies. Event spaces over here. Treasure chests here. Another 2 here. We don't have a workbench at all. Nope. There's the trap space, so we could set off these traps and deal. We roll 3 black dice against whoever is on these trap spaces. Oh, here's a workbench. There's a workbench. Another event space. Oh, wow. This is going to be fun. Kim has 2 more stamina, so I think she's just going to move 1, 2, and end next to this chest. Now we're going to go to Phil. Philip definitely wants to know what's in this treasure chest, so he's going to spend 3 stamina to take a look at that. Let's do one of each of these, shall we? So we'll do 1 weapon. He gets the Reconnaisseur, takes 3, range 4. When you kill with this weapon, you can refresh adjacent non-chapter action space. Wow, that's way, way cooler. Okay, and this one over here, when target blocks this round, increase attack roll by 2. The nice thing about this one is it can go through obstacles. What I'm really looking for is something that can hit ethereal enemies, but I am going to, because you can unequip 1 item, I'm going to unequip this reverberating glaive, put that into my inventory, and I'm going to go ahead and put out this Reconnaisseur. This one, it'll take us 3 stamina, but man, if we can kill something, we can then reactivate a chest later. Love that. Philip still has 3 stamina left. 1, 2, 3, or 3. Yeah, let's put them right here. That'll be good. All right, now let's go to the spawning phase. Our spawn level is at 5, and our horror level is at 4. We want to roll less than a 5, and can we do that? No, that's a 6. So Philip's going to spawn 1 enemy, then it's going to move back up to a 6. So now we're trying to roll less than a 6, and we rolled an 8. No, we're going to do the Bairnt spawn 2 enemies this turn. And let's see about a horror event. We got a 4. No, yeah, dang it. That's going to also do a horror event. All 3 things. Let's go ahead and flip our first monster card, and we have a deep one. Okay, it's going to attack, ranged to attack with 3 black, aka just immediately do damage to you. When this monster hits, if you roll a 8 or higher, increase that monster's threat. And then we have here, increase monster's threat immediately. So I'm going to increase the threat by 1 for that, and he has 1 health. Then our next one, if I can flip these cards over, we have the Flying Polyp. That sounds nasty. This thing has a total of 2 health, and it's going to try to get within range 2. It's going to attack with 3 white. When this monster is hit, it pushes adjacent units 1 space. Oh, and this one is ethereal as well, so I can't even target this guy either. Let's increase our monster threat by 2. One because of that deep one, and the other one is because we had a horror event. Let's go ahead and draw our horror event card, and we have Watchers in the Dark. As we moved through the chambers, we sensed the oppressive stares of unseen lurkers. They tracked our every move, as if knowing where we would step before we did. Their presence hounded us, ranking our nerves. We knew that they were patiently waiting, seeking the perfect time to fall upon us. Increase the monster threat for each Bound Explorer event. Ha! That we haven't had any Bound Explorer events, so we don't have to worry about that. This will now go into the discard pile, and we don't have to worry about this reroll of attacks. The deep one was the first one that spawned, so we'll place him here. And then the flying polyp, let's go ahead and spawn it right here. I think it needs to be as close as it can. Well, that would mean it was here. Bummer. Okay, so the deep one has a total of 5 stamina. It's trying to get within range 2. 1, 2, so I can get to here. It will spend 2 stamina here, and then it's going to go ahead and attack Kim. Kim's regular defense is 3, so he has to get a 3 or better with 3 black dice. Oh, 2 zeros, you guys, but then he got a 3. So that's going to deal 1 point of damage to Kim. So Kim will definitely take that as health because she has ways to heal up. So she'll go down to 3 health. And then when that monster hits, we have to roll a d10, and if we get an 8 or higher, it's going to increase our threat. Fortunately, that is a 6, so we're good there. The flying polyp is the next one to go. He is going to move 1, 2 right here. He has a total of 5 stamina as well, and then with 2 stamina, he's going to attack our poor friend here, Kim. He's rolling 3 dice for this attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, definitely hit her. Man, she's just going to keep getting hammered. She's going to go down to 2 total health. Remember, her defense was only 3. And then I think that's going to end the enemy activation because he used 2 to move, 2 to attack. He only has 1 stamina left. Oh, when this monster is hit, it pushes adjacent units 1 space. So it can't push Kim because Kim can't move, but I think it might actually be able to push the deep one. Never mind, looking here, the deep one can't get pushed because you always push in the direction that you're at. So if you're orthogonal, it'll push orthogonal. And if you're diagonal, it'll push diagonal. So neither of them can get pushed because there's guys behind either one of them. It's kind of like these two with these 2 guys supporting. Okay, so that will end this turn. Let's start our next turn. What are we going to do? Well, you guys, I almost missed one thing. Although the Hound and the Thrall are not able to move to the other map tile, guess what? 1, 2, 3. He can get here, and he's within range 2 of Kim. And he still has 2 stamina left. He's going to do an arcane attack on her. And then this Thrall, 1, 2, 3, and it can move 3 units, 4, 5. He's going to get to here. He unfortunately will have no more stamina, or fortunately, to be able to attack Kim, but he's going to stand there, and if we stay within range 2, they can attack us from this tile. And I need to remember with this Hound, I might have forgotten this, but if anyone loses essence, he's going to teleport to being adjacent to our specific explorers. So we've got to watch that because when we do that, he's going to teleport to our space and get off of this tile. This is an arcane attack. Kim has 4 defense there. And of course he gets 4 because why would he get more or less than that? So that'll put her down to 1 health. I really don't want her to lose essence. And that is something, whenever you take damage, you can always lose essence instead. But if I did that, he'd teleport onto that map tile. So that's not going to happen. Okay, now we're going to start the turn. And the first thing we're going to do is activate this. We have to roll a 5 or higher. And we roll an 8. Beautiful. So she's going to restore her health back to a 2 at least. And no, I'm going to keep this. This is saving her butt. So I've got this nasty polyp here that I can't even attack, but there's all these barrels over here. So I'm going to start with Philip. Philip's going to go ahead and move 1 here, and then for 3 stamina, so he's used 4, he's going to activate this event space. We'll then draw our Explorer event. We have a Cleansing Ritual. Now is the time to test this rusty contraption. It seems that it could be used to destroy the dreaded places whence those denizens of evil issue forth into the fragile realm. Well, let's give it a try. Well, it's going to work. Destroy any spawn space. Ooh. Looking at our board has 2 spawn spaces. We're definitely going to destroy this one. And I should also mention that this will push up our essence 1 space for activating that event space. So we now have 1 essence. We need 3, remember, to be able to get to the next chapter. So then the final 2 of our stamina, we're just going to move here. We're going to stand by these barrels, and what's nice now is enemies won't spawn over here. They'll have to come through here. We can shoot these barrels and hopefully kill those blasted ethereal enemies. For Kim here, Kim is going to spend her first 3 stamina to search this chest. There's a chest right behind here. She's going to gain 1 essence. That will be her 3rd essence, actually, and she'll gain an item. 3 essence is certainly where it's at. That means she can activate that chapter space, although her health is super low. We're going to do 1 weapon and 1 apparel, because remember, she can immediately equip 1 main item apparel. Increase weapons range by 1. Ooh, you know what? So I want to show you this. This is the weapon of Philip. You can see here those 2 symbols match. We can actually increase the range of this weapon from 4 to 5. I still feel like that's actually not that good. But for an example, right now Philip has this specific upgraded card right here. This one that increases the attack rolls by 3. But if you look here, those symbols don't match. So he can't actually put that on his Reconnoisseur, which is a bummer. Definitely don't think I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to burn that one. Range, we've already got a ranged weapon. Choose direction and move until you reach an obstacle. Jet boots. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we definitely want that. And we're most definitely going to immediately equip it because we can, since that is because we're a gunman. This is where it gets interesting. So I could totally attack this thrall, actually, because I don't have that limitation of the different tiles. Plus, we can attack between each other, and I can take that thrall out. But I've got this guy here that then can attack me, this guy here that can attack me, and this guy here that can attack me. So, not going to do that. I also could take out that deep one if I moved over here. Right now I've got an obstacle in my way, which is this flying polyp. Once again, then I'm succumbing myself to a ton of enemies. So I'm going to run. I've got 3 more movement. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3. I'm going to hide over here by Philip. That way, we can hopefully get the monsters to conglomerate themselves around this barrel, and then we can shoot that barrel to deal a point of damage to them. We need to do 2 to that flying polyp. The biggest thing is I don't want to lose any essence. If I do, this guy's going to teleport to our space. Now that we've completed our activation, let's go ahead and do our spawning. Our spawn is at 5, and our horror event is at 4. Our first roll is for Philip, and he gets a 2, so that means no spawn. Now we're going to go down to a 4. And we get a 3. No enemies will spawn, but our spawn point will be moved down 2 spaces. And for our horror event, that is a 0. So if you're playing on the easy mode, you can consider that a 0. But we're going to play on normal, just like Bairnt, so that's considered a 10. That means yet another horror event. Gosh, I love those. We'll move this down by 2. We're at a 3. And this is going to get moved up 1 more. 1, 2, 3 more spaces, and we're already going to have level 3 monsters. Jeez. We'll flip our horror card. Let's see what we get. Messengers of the Void. Ooh, another one from our scenario. Horror ripped once more into our realm, invading these spaces we know so well. It forced a passage through the shadows and the tears that inhibit this place, reaching out to grip our hearts with fear. Waves of darkness thickened around the monsters, and we could feel our breath choke in our throats. In a few moments, a terrifying vortex had formed in the midst of these messages of the void, and it was not long before it erupted in a flash of black light, blinding your very souls. We have to arcane attack, 2 black, 1 white, explorers adjacent to monster. Oh, none of us are adjacent to a monster. Take that, messengers of the void. That means all that's next is activating our enemies. These 2 are just going to sit here staring menacingly at the door. They can't seem to get in. They're trying but can't. The deep one is going to go next. He is going to move 1, 2. Actually, I think he'd go this way. 1, 2, 3. And he has to move 1 more, 4. He's now within range 2, but he only has 1 stamina left. The nice thing is almost all of them always have 5 stamina. Makes it kind of easy. Next to go then will be our flying polyp. Our flying polyp will move 1, 2. He cannot move through units, so he's going to move 3. And he's within range 2. Yep, he is within range 2 of both of these guys. And he's got 2 stamina left, so he's going to go ahead and attack, Kim, because Kim's the lowest on health. And did you guys notice he did not get next to a barrel? I am so mad that he did not get next to a barrel. I'm going to not be able to take him out this round then. Okay, he's only 3 dice on this attack, and this is a regular physical attack, so her defense is 3. Rolling 3 white dice. Only 2! She finally did not get any damage. Thank goodness. Okay, so now we're going to start that next round. Let's roll this die up for her healing ability. She rolls a 3. First time she didn't heal. That's okay. She didn't take any damage. I think to start this round, let's go ahead and have Philip just take out this deep one. Shouldn't be a problem. His defense for a regular physical attack is only 3. We're rolling 2 black and 2 white. And this is going to take us 3 stamina. We're going to try and take this deep one out. We just need 3 or better on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful. We'll gain an essence for taking them out, and that's a deep one. It's a level 1, so it's going to be removed from the game. Also, when you kill with this weapon, you can refresh the adjacent non-chapter action space. So we're definitely going to do that. There is that event spot there, and then what we're going to do, because this took us 3 stamina, the other 3 stamina we're going to use is we're just going to reactivate that event space and draw another event card. We'll grab this one, and we have Spatial Anomaly. Zap! I don't understand it. There, moments ago, I had wandered utterly lost in these passages, but now I can see them clearer than ever before. It's as if I can walk into any location in the surrounding area. Teleport to any passable space. A passable space, that would actually even include a pit, but don't do that because you die. But yeah, you can't do, of course, any of the places that we've been activating, like the chapter spaces or the chests, but any of those other spaces are passable spaces. And you know what? Doing that is going to push up our essence to 3, so I think I know where I'm going to go. With the deep one removed from the game, it's gone forever. Let's go ahead and teleport. Oh, man, it's got so many good options. I could teleport right here so that I can activate that chapter space the next turn. But remember, if I activate that chapter space, you know what happens, right? Those monsters can now move onto our tile. But I don't know how I'm going to get around that. If I could, and this is something I want to mention, if let's say, for example, that chapter space was over here, and I activated it and then ran off of this tile and explored this one, the tile below here would actually get removed from the game and all the enemies that were on it would be banished. They just go back into the deck. I wouldn't get XP for it or essence, but I also wouldn't have to deal with them. But the problem is, look, there's a wall here. I'd have to go all the way around here to get to that space. I could explore this way, but you can have a 2x2 grid. So this tile down here will still be there. It's like it almost worked out, but it didn't. So I think instead, I'm going to just teleport here, and then that's going to be my turn. I didn't even move this because I reactivated that same space. Now for Kim. Kim could come over here and start exploring over here, which is an idea. Or, well, yeah, you know, that would then make it harder for them to get to us. What the heck? We're going to do it. We're going to spend 1 to move here, 2 more to explore this tile. And looking at this tile should be pretty fun. We've got some traps, we've got some more barrels. This is where that chapter space is though. So we're going to have to go all the way around to get to it here. And then maybe come this way. Or if we want to actually get rid of one of these tiles, we're going to have to come all the way over to this one or that exit up there. So I've got, 3 more actions that 3 more stamina that I can use. There's also a spawn point right here. I think all I'm going to do is move here. I'm 1 space away. That flying polyp is going to get within range 2, and then I could shoot both barrels to kill it. Yep. I think that's what I'm going to do. So that's going to end our turn. We're now going to move to the spawning step. Ugh. We're at a 3 for spawning and a 4 for our horror. We'll roll up for Philip first, and we got a 2. Bairnt, this is why you use the die that comes with the game. See, I'm going to move it down to a 2. Now, only a 1 will save us from an enemy, and we definitely got a 5, so it's going to go back up. That one, I've always been doing Philip first, so Philip was the first one, and Kim was the second one. And then now we need to roll a 3, 2, or a 1, so we don't have a horror event. Come on, 3, 2, or a 1. No, it's a 4, so we're also going to have a horror event. I think the difference between Bairnt and I is that he didn't happen to roll many horror events. I've rolled a horror event every time. But he also spawned twice as many monsters. We'll flip over our monster, and we have a Buboth. Oh, I remember this one. 2 health. It will attack with 1 and 1, looking for melee. When this monster is hit, it moves 2 spaces towards the spawn space. This monster moves 2 spaces when it first comes out. It'll spawn right here and 2 spaces towards Kim. Let's flip our next fun horror event. And we have Vicious Attack. How was it possible that this forsaken place could get even darker? An odd gloom had settled thicker and deeper than before. If only this had been the full extent of the misfortune. But no. The savage beasts were empowered by it, and their blood, thirst, and fur only grew greater. We felt more defenseless than ever. Increase monsters' attack rolls by 1. Oh, yay. Well, more likely to hit us. Well, this could be bad. This flying polyp is going to move to here. It will then have enough to do 1 attack on Kim. That's it. But then this Boobath here is going to move 1 space and we'll get 2 attacks onto Kim. Kim only has 2 health. Now, she's got 3 essence. But remember, if she loses 1 essence, that blasted hound is going to teleport to her space. The hound did not activate, couldn't do anything this turn. If he does teleport, he won't attack her this turn, but now we've got to deal with it as well. The flying polyp is rolling 3 dice for this attack. 2 would not be enough to hit her, except for... Oh no! Now she has the jet boots. I forgot about this. That's going to give her 3 defense. Actually 4. Sorry, she starts with 3. You can see on her card. She starts with 3 physical. Add the 1 from there, that's 4. 4 compared to the 2 plus 1 is 3. First, that attack did not hit. And that's all he's going to do. However, this one's going to attack twice. We'll roll 1 black and 1 white for the first attack. Oh, that's 3! That's 3 and her total defense is 4. Oh, wait, but we've got to add 1 to that attack. So 3 plus 1 is 4. She's going to take a damage. When this monster is hit, no, it is hit her. So she is going to go down from 2 down to 1. And here's the thing. If she gets hit one more time, we're going to have to take it as essence unless we want to kill her, which I definitely don't want to kill her. So then, you know what that means. We're going to have that stupid hound teleport. Okay, which, you know, maybe not be a bad thing if we can get it in a space we can hit with a barrel. I don't know, let's see. Oh, well, that's 1 and 2. That's 3 plus the 1 is 4. We're going to have to do it. We're going to have to reduce her essence by 1 so that she doesn't die. So she'll go down to 2 essence. And then that means that hound's going to teleport adjacent to her. Enemies always try and be orthogonally adjacent if possible, which is a huge bummer, because he's going to be placed here. Now, that's great. He's still adjacent to these barrels, but I was hoping, well, you know what? I still have an idea. We can use Phil. Phil might wait to do the chapter space for another turn, because I think I have an idea. Before I do anything, let's see if Kim can heal. She rolls an 8. So that was 5 or greater, so she'll go back to 2 health. This might seem a bit risky, but that's how I generally play, so I'm going to do it. Philip is going to spend his first 3 stamina. He's going to go ahead and cover up that chapter space, and he's going to spend 3 essence to complete chapter 2. This does mean his essence will go from 3 down to 0. We can now flip this card. Oh boy, what did Philip find over there? Right by all those pits. That looks nasty. Chapter 3, A Way Out. We came across a most macabre talisman. Sculpted of black metal, slimy to the touch, it resembled a misshapen circle. A priceless ruby sat in the center with a writhing tentacle radiating from the edges, as if these fey protuberances had crawled their way from the amulet's blood-red core. The ruby pulsed erratically, like a diseased heartbeat, and yet there was a method to its queasy rhythm, for if one turned with it, the sanguine glow brightened or lessened based on direction. Thusly, we deduced that the charm acted as a compass, though leading out or deeper in, we knew not. Having no other viable options, we chose to follow this uncertain guide until some better means of direction availed itself, or this necklace led us to our doom. Looks like we can move our spawn to level 7, and we have to keep our horror at 4. This is not locked, so we just have to do the chapter space again. We can see here we can spend an essence to reorder the monster queue. And we can, when any explorer activates an action space, they'll teleport within 1 space. Oh, cool. That was 3 of our stamina. Let's go ahead and use stamina 4 to come here, and 5 and 6, we're going to attack this barrel. We're only rolling 1 white die for this. We're using this attack. And here's the thing. We're adjacent to that barrel, so we're also going to take a damage. But if we can get rid of some of these ethereal or ethereal enemies, it'll be worth it. All we need is 1 success here, and we got it. Beautiful. We just blew up that barrel, but that means everyone adjacent to it is going to take damage equal to 3 black dice. And we roll 1 time and we compare that result. So we rolled a total of 4. Our defense is 2, and that's it. So we're definitely going to take a damage. That'll put us down to 4. And fortunately for us, both the Hound and the Polyp each have 4 physical resistance. So each of them will also take 1 point of damage. They still have 1 health left, so I'm hoping that Kim can take them out. Now I have to place this token here because we have used that barrel. For Kim's turn, we're going to have her move 1, 2, 3. She's going to move here. She's then going to attack this barrel. And you know what? Due to her special ability, she is adjacent to a wall. All of her attacks, whenever she attacks and she's adjacent to a wall, are increased by 1. So we're guaranteed 1 success. So we're going to blow up that barrel. What that means is we're going to do 1 point of damage to each of these monsters and destroy both of them. They're both gone. They're both level 2s, so they're just going to go into the discard pile. And Kim is going to gain 2 wonderful essence, much needed. Then her final action will move 1 space forward because we're going to try and get ourselves back over here. She used this attack for that. That's why she was able to do it. Attack with 1 die. And since she was adjacent to a wall, her attack was increased by 2. So she has 4 essence. The max that she can hold is 5. But now we're going to go to the spawn phase. Phil is first. We'll roll up for him. He rolls a 7. That's going to spawn an enemy. And then we have a 6. Beautiful. So that means Kim finally will not spawn an enemy. But then we'll move the spawn point or spawn level down to a 6. Come on. No horror event. Less than a 4. No, that's an 8. So we're also going to have a horror event. We'll move the spawning number down to a 6. This is now 1 away. Great. 1 away from getting level 3 monsters. We'll flip our card for our spawning, and we have a Knight Gaunt. This guy, he's going to do an arcane attack at melee range. 3 black dice. When this monster attacks, it teleports with blocker to spawn space. Ooh! Let's draw our horror event, and we have the Thrashing, Thrashing Mania. Frozen by fear, we watched in terror as the monsters worked themselves into a frenzy. We've never witnessed such a rage. They thrashed themselves about furiously, destroying everything in their vile wake. We knew it wouldn't be long before we all suffered the same fate, and could envision them crushing our skulls like one might pop a grape. They're gonna first try and do this, which is spend 2 stamina within range 0, or next to them, destroy target action space. Oh. Maybe that's not the end of the world. They're going to try and destroy action spaces instead of attacking us. We'll spawn that Knight Gaunt over here. That's the closest spawn point since we destroyed the other one. So we'll start with this Thrall. And, oh, that's a wall, I think. Yep, looking here, it doesn't look like he's going to try and destroy that wall. So instead, he's going to move 1, 2, 3. And then he has 2 more. Get this. He is going to use his destroy target space. He's going to destroy this and destroy a barrel. That means both of us are going to get attacked for 3 black dice. Let's roll them up. And 3, 4, 5, 6, guarantee you that's going to hit both of us. So that means Kim is going to go from 2 health back down to 1 health. Ouch. But that Thrall, in his haste, will deal himself 1 damage. The Buboth will destroy this space for 2, 3, 4, 5, or wait, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's adjacent to us, but he doesn't, well, that's all of his stamina. And the Knight Gaunt is just going to sit here, and he's going to destroy both action spaces. Wow, that really was not bad. I kind of liked that. Thank you, Horror Event. We'll start that next round, and Kim's going to roll. She gets a 1. Bummer, I was hoping she was going to heal, because she only has 1 health. Kim may only have 1 health left, but she has 4 essence. And you know what she's going to do? She's going to use her Reaper, which can do at a range of 2, and hit this Thrall. Center to center, she can totally see this Thrall, swing her Reaper at him, and take him out. His physical defense is only 2, so we're going to roll 2 and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. Done. So that means she will be able to gain 1 more essence. That's going to put her at max essence of 5. The Thrall, since it's a level 1 card, will also be removed from the game, and we'll remove the Thrall from the board. She's going to then use her other 3 essence to go ahead and attack this Buboth, but the Buboth has 2 health. His physical resistance is 2, but he does have 2 health, so we definitely did enough damage, but that'll only deal 1 damage to him. That means he has 1 health remaining. However, when this monster is hit, it moves 2 spaces towards the spawn space. It's going to run like a cowering baby, 1, 2 spaces towards the spawn space. Now it is Phil's turn. First thing he's going to do is spend 3 stamina to go ahead and do that event space. Let's see what he finds. He gets the piece of the puzzle. And this is a bonded card, so that's going to go with him and is going to be his for the rest of the game. After futile tinkering with an artifact I found earlier, I realized that it would not function unless I locate the missing part necessary to operate the mechanism inside. I can vaguely remember seeing something of that kind before, but where? I must find that absent piece of this puzzle. It cannot be solved. What we need to do is destroy an adjacent event space, and then we can light the chapter. That means it's easier to get to the next chapter, but then we'd have to invoke a horror event, and then this card gets discarded. With that, I think we're going to spend 2 stamina just to move here, and that's it. Let's go ahead now and do our spawning. Currently, spawning level is at 6, so let's see. Our first one is a 2, so now it's down to a 5, and we'll roll this. That is 6, so we are definitely going to spawn one for Kim. That's going to go back up to a 7. Come on, less than a 4. Less than a 4, that's a 7. We're going to have another horror event. We apparently are taking too long. We're going to put this here. That's going to put this back here. Put this back here. I'm going to grab all level 3s, which I don't even want to look at. And I'm going to shuffle these in after I reveal one of these for our specific spawning event. I'm also going to move this back up. And what are we going to spawn? We're going to spawn a Soral. We know what that is. Attack 2/2. When this monster dies, it attacks 3 adjacent units. That's kind of cool. It has a total of 2 health. And then what I'm going to do is from the discard pile, there's only 2 monsters in the discard pile that aren't level, that are level 2s. I'm also going to take those 2 and shuffle them back in. And now remember, any level 2s or 1s that we defeat are removed from the game. So I'll shuffle all these into this. We'll flip our next card, and we have Howl of Insanity. Penetrating howls of madness reverberated within our souls. There is no rest from this nightmare, from the enclosing walls, from the horrors and fears we encounter. We cannot sleep, think, or even eat sometimes. This is only pain and this sharp puncturing agony that goes ever on. So we're immediately going to have each of us get attacked for 1 black, 2 white, and it's an arcane attack, so we're using our will as defense. So this will be 1 die roll that we're going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are going to look at Phil. Phil has 3 willpower defense here, plus the 2 from his card, so he's actually going to take no damage from that. Awesome. Unfortunately, Kim is not so lucky. Kim has 2 on her card, plus the 2 from here. That's 4. That's equal to what she got hit for. She still only has 1 health. Man, we got to find a way to get her more health. So she's going to lose 1 essence so she doesn't die. The Soral is going to show up here. So now we have the Boopoth going. The Boopoth, 1, 2. Yeah, 1, 2, and is definitely going to be able to attack Kim. This guy, he has a total of 5 movement. 1, 2, 3... or 3, 4, 5. No one is within range. And this one only has 4 for stamina. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's just this guy we have to deal with. He's rolling 1 of each, only 1. And fortunately for Kim, she has a total of 4 physical defense, so no damage. Great. We're then going to move back to her turn, or I should say the beginning of the round, and we're going to roll, come on, 5 or higher. That's a 1. Of course, I roll a 1 for that, not for our blasted horror events, so she doesn't heal. We're going to move to the Explorer phase. We're going to have Kim spend 2 of her stamina to attack with 1 white die, and she gets 1 there, plus 1 because she's adjacent to a wall. That's 2, enough to take the Boopoth out. That will push her essence all the way back up to a maximum of 5. And don't forget, he's a level 1, so he's going to be removed from the game. That only took 2 stamina. She'll do 3, 4, 5, 6 stamina to get all the way over here. Then we're going to go to Philip. It's the question of, do I want to light this chapter space? I think it's as good a time as any. Now, to do this, we're going to light the chapter, but then we're going to invoke a horror event and then discard this card. So this card has been discarded. We are going to have to draw a horror event card, and we have broken item. These halls have an inexplicable way of imbuing the very air we breathe with pessimism, and it obstructs every step we take in here. No wonder I don't like it. I don't like being pessimist. Sometimes you need to lie back and allow the current to take you, but what if it only flows towards certain oblivion? Destroy the top card from each item deck. That doesn't sound terrible. I've grabbed the top one of each. I'm not even going to look at them because it doesn't even matter. We're just going to discard them. Here's the fun thing. This didn't even take any of our stamina to do this. So we've destroyed that event space. And then we can place a lit token on top of the chapter space. Now it only takes 1 essence to activate that. So we have a total of 6 stamina left. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Running ourselves towards this. Awesome. We should be able to do that next round, barring any terrible spawns. And I'm sorry, what I meant with the activate lit chapter space, it takes no essence, it only takes 1 stamina, which is pretty awesome. Let's roll for spawning. Philip's first, that's an 8, so we're going to spawn 1 monster, and that's a 6, so we won't spawn the second one, we'll move down to a 6, and then our horror event, we'll roll a 2, finally no horror event, yes! We'll move both of these down by 1, perfect. And what monster awaits us? Let's see. Oh, it's still a level 2. A formless spawn. 2 and 3, it can attack through obstacles. This monster can move and target through walls and closed doors. When this monster attacks, the blocker uses lower value between its armor and will for blocking. It only has 1 health though, so we should hopefully be able to kill it, but it's going to wreak havoc for this turn. That formless spawn will be placed right here. We'll first activate the Night Gaunt. He can move a total of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's within range 2. But he has to be melee. So 5. He's going to get right up next to Kim. Our Soral here is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. And then our formless spawn can go through a wall. He's got a total of 4. So 1, and then from here he can actually attack Kim with 2, and he'll have 1 stamina left that he's not going to use. Kim has 4 defense either way, doesn't matter which one, so we're just going to roll 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, boom. That's going to deal 1 damage. Of course, we know that Kim only has 1 health, so she's going to go down to 4 essence instead. And that's going to end this round, actually. So let's go right ahead and roll for our percolating stone. Come on, 5 or higher. That's a 10. That's definitely a 10. That's how we're playing it for bad stuff. We might as well do it for good stuff, too. 2 health. Thank you very much. What I think I'm going to do this turn is have Kim activate first. She's going to go ahead and attack this Night Gaunt. Don't forget she is adjacent to a wall, so she's going to add 1 to her total value here. She's going to spend 3 stamina for this. We're getting a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We needed over 3. He's gone, and he's going to be removed from the game now because that's level 2 and our monster is level 3. That's going to push up our essence back to a 5. I like it. Let's get rid of that Night Gaunt. We're never going to have to see that again in this playthrough. And now I think she's just going to move 1, 2, 3 to get herself adjacent to that event space. Now it's Philip, and I think we're going to spend our first 3 to go ahead and check out this chest. Let's do a consumable and an artifact. Let's see what we found. We found the Reflective Sextant. On new round, move up to 1 space. When you activate a recharge station, restore 1 stamina. Oh, that's kind of nice. Or the Ambiscorum, you have to discard this, and it can do an attack of at a range of 2 and a range of 3 with nothing blocking the line of sight. Attack 2, 2, attack 3, targeting adjacent units, attack 3. That's cool, but it's a one-time use. I'm really looking for something that can hit ethereal enemies. So I'm going to discard that. I'm definitely going to take this, and since it's an item, I'm going to equip it, and it's going to give us 1 more willpower as well. On new round, move up to 1 space. That's amazing. Then I think I'm just going to move here for stamina 4, stamina 5. Let's go to the next chapter. And you know what? When an explorer activates an action space, they teleport within 1 space. So what that meant is after I activated this, it didn't take me any stamina to move here. So I did 3, and I'm here. Now I spent 4, so I will still have 2 left, and I can still teleport within 1 space. Heck, I could teleport to here, but I think I'm going to teleport myself here. Let's go ahead and flip this to chapter 4. Look at that art, you guys. Doesn't that look amazing? And what is all of this?